I will play a few notes and then say and then play them and then put them together in maybe a phrase and then building up sentence, poetry, compositions. Na, tete, gun, ding, ke, tere kete, tuna kina, dhati dhagi. But here's some similarity between what I'm saying and playing. So that's exactly how the drum looks. Say, for example, tha tha, tum tum, na na, tete tete. Kate 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 tha, kate tha, kate tha, kate tha, kate tha. This is the jingle bell of tabla. Tum tum, na na, tete tete, kate kate kate, kate tha, kate tha, ho ho, kate tha. And from there to something a little more advanced. Like that.
Please, let's talk a little bit about this this wandering that you have done for peace. How did it all come about?
Well, it started January 1st of 1953 from Los Angeles, California. That year I set out to walk across the country, which I did, zigzag across 5,000 continuous miles. And then I just continued. I'm on my 7th pilgrimage route now, which is my 7th crossing of the country. I have covered the 50 states, the 10 Canadian provinces, parts of Mexico. And it's an effort to do everything one little person can do for peace. I walk prayerfully and as an opportunity to talk with many people and perhaps inspire them to do something for peace also in their own way.
Pete, what brings you to Knox specifically?
I was invited to come to Knox by an old friend of mine. And of course, I do this all the time. It's a part of my regular pilgrimage for peace. I have no money. I don't accept any money. I belong to no organization, so there is no organizational backing behind me. And I own only what I wear and carry. And I just walk onto a given shelter, fast onto a given food. Don't even ask. It's given without asking. I tell you, people aren't good. There's a spark of good in everybody, no matter how deeply buried. Now, it used to be that my invitations were just on the spur of the moment. From total strangers, I was offered a bed about 3/4 of the time, and I seldom skipped more than 3 or 4 meals in a row. But now, my invitations often come in advance.
Peace, let me ask you this. Was it always Peace Pilgrim, or did you have a name as a little girl?
It isn't my old name, but if you were to address a letter to my old name, I would not even receive the letter. I'm very much Peace Pilgrim now. I'm told that it's a professional name, consistently used to see. It has been my legal name now for some 10 or 12 years because, of course, it was taken way back in 1953 when I first started on my pilgrimage. And things have changed a good deal since then. But I will say one thing has not changed, and that is my peace message. It still remains, this is the way of peace. Overcome evil with good. and falsehood with truth, and hatred with love. That's still the message that I'm carrying after all these years.
Peace, Pilgrim. You know, there are a certain number of people who would not even think of doing this, that would probably think of somebody like yourself as a kook or a nun. Do you have a problem overcoming this barrier with some people?
Well, I'm quite sure that some of those who have just heard of me must think I'm completely off the beat. After all, I am doing something different, and pioneers have always been looked upon as being a bit strange. But you see, I love people, and I see the good in them, and you're apt to reach what you see. The world is like a mirror. If you smile at it, it smiles at you. I love to smile, and so in general, I definitely receive smiles in return.
Martin Luther King Jr. believed that we can have a beloved community. He said that a beloved community is a realistic, achievable goal that can be attained if enough of us practice nonviolence. A beloved community is a community in which everyone is cared for, absent of poverty, hunger, and hate. He believed that the Gandhian philosophy of nonviolence was the only morally and practically sound method open to oppressed people in their struggle for freedom. Martin Luther King Jr. first learned about Gandhi's methods as a seminary student in Chester, Pennsylvania. He read about Gandhi and attended a lecture given by Mordecai Johnson in Philadelphia. Johnson was the president of Howard University and had just returned from a trip to India. King was so moved by the lecture that he went out and purchased half a dozen books about Gandhi's life and works. King said, "It was this Gandhian emphasis on love and nonviolence that I discovered the method for social reform that I'd been seeking for so many months." When King and his wife Coretta Scott King visited India in 1959, he called it a pilgrimage. His intention was to study Gandhi's nonviolence movement, and he spoke all over the country, and Coretta sang spirituals. King gave a live radio address on his last night in India, and it was in this address that he said, "Today, we no longer have a choice between violence and nonviolence. It is either nonviolence or non-existence." The trip made a deep impression on King. And in his autobiography, he wrote, "I left India more convinced than ever before that nonviolent resistance was the most potent weapon available to oppressed people in their struggle for freedom." It was a marvelous thing to see the amazing results of a nonviolent campaign. India won her independence, but without violence on the part of Indians. The aftermath of hatred and bitterness that usually follows a violent campaign was found nowhere in India. The way of acquiescence leads to moral and spiritual suicide. The way of violence leads to bitterness in the survivors and brutality in the destroyers. But the way of nonviolence leads to redemption and the creation of the beloved community.